time to test out my hoisting point here. Bolted in with a couple of Dynabolts into the concrete. I think it's good. I've never bolted in a Dynabolt before, but it seemed to go okay. And I've disconnected the winch. And I've got the boat strapped down to its little tie downs. See if I can gently like winch it out. Here he goes. Okay, boat is outside. That went pretty well, I think. It's probably a good system, but the real proof will be getting it back in. So now what I have to do is I have to put the mast in so I can see where the hole for the mast pin needs to go. Well, it didn't fit because of the paint, so I have to trim it down a little and I'll have to re-epoxy it. At least here's a handy guide of where it doesn't fit. All the paint that's scraped off. Okay, sanded off all the epoxy. Let's try again, shall we? It's a little bit tight, and when I put epoxy on it, it'll just do the exact same thing. So I want it to be loose. Then I'll re-epoxy it, and it should be good. I hope. Oh, that went in much better like that. Now I have to drill the pinhole in here so the mast doesn't fly away. Freehand. Oh, you can see right through now. Pretty happy with that. I'll just take the mast out, sand it just one more time so it's a little bit loose. So when I put the epoxy back on, we don't have the same problem all again. Because that would make me hate myself even more than I already do. Okay, all that faffing about is done. Now we have to get it back inside with this thing. Well, I got to mount the centerboard in the boat now. Before I do that, I just want to make sure that I know exactly how much sort of rope gets let out when the centerboard goes down to its sort of final position. Because the boat's on the trailer, I can't put the centerboard in and then let it down. There's trailer in the way. Just want to measure exactly how much extra rope. Oh fuck, I don't even know. Well, I think this is probably a pretty good approximation. The centerboard rotates down pretty much 90 degrees, maybe slightly less. And the radius from this point up here, where the uphole's attached to the pivot point, is 330 millimeters. So that's basically a right angle triangle with 330 on both sides. That gives us 466, which will be a good starting point. I'll just make sure that I have that amount there, and I'll tie a knot maybe 450. I just want to make sure that the centerboard doesn't fall down completely and damage anything. So. But I can properly calibrate that later. So the centerboard is about 34 mil thick. The centerboard case is about 42 mil thick. So that's a difference of 8 millimeters. I can do math. Yeah, the plan said to leave about 4 millimeters on each side, I think. But it's not really centered in there, and when I dry fitted, I wasn't super happy. So I got these nylon washers. They're 3 mil thick. I'm gonna try and put them on either side to center the centerboard a little bit. Well, hopefully these stay on long enough for me to get the bolt through. Let's see. Yeah, this bit is a pain in the boot, eh? That's the easy part. Gotta get the pin in. Well, you can't see, but I got the centerboard in position. I use this little shimming stick. I've got the back end just tied up by this strap here, and the front end is supported by this block. I've got it positioned, and I managed to get both nylon washers in position, I think. So I've got the centerboard pin here, ready to go in. Got my sealer there.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
So remember the measurement that we took earlier? This line here is 450 from that bit there. When this stopper knot jams in the fiddle block here, this line should be even with that, and the centerboard would have been let down where the line is 450. You can see when we're pulling it tight, that line is just hitting that eye strap. Of course, we won't be using that as the mechanism. We'll still have it cleated off there. This is just an extra safety feature. Yeah, so this centerboard cap doesn't fit. It fit pretty good before, but same old story, painting, etc. It's just a huge pain in the booty to get it in there. So I'm gonna have to trim that back down and re-epoxy it. Taken quite a bit of material off, so let's see. Probably come down a little on the bottom. I feel like that's a lot better fit. Yeah, a lot better. Now the seat hatches are pretty similar. They're not nearly as bad actually. There's a bit of sticking, but not a huge amount. I think I'm going to leave these for now. So a while back, my uncle gave me 2 of these oars. Other one's up there. He had them in his shed. Not sure where they came from, but they're pretty nice and they're a good size for the SCAMP. A little bit worse for wear. So I thought I might just try and sand them down and clean them up a little bit. I don't know if I can get this off. Pipwell, Nautical Products, Sydney, 5/8. Yeah, well, I cleaned up pretty good. That was just 40 grit. I might, I'll give it some 80 grit probably. I can't see any obvious issues with it. There's like no splits or rotting or anything. I mean, I'm no oar expert, but they look all right to me. I'll see myself out. Yeah, so all good. Not really sure. I was thinking I might epoxy them, but I mean, I don't think they were epoxy before, and you don't have to seal everything. I got some linseed oil. I might just oil them up. I like a bit of oil. A bit of linseed oil on a boat, you know, smells good. Yeah, this other one's a little bit worse for wear. Still got this like rubber protector on the top, which is missing from this one. I don't know if I'll try and like replace that. But also you can see here that the blade is split here. So the blade is made up of 3 bits. The shaft goes all the way to the end and it flattens out. And then there's 2 side pieces glued on, it looks like. What I'll do is see if I can take that off and re-glue it. You can see it probably a bit better from this side. Oh, the oars come up pretty good. I think I went to 120 grit. Pretty good. I don't think there's not really any splinters here or anything. I can't move these rubber things, so they're just there. Oh, here's one of the oars, and you can see where it was split. It was split where the pieces were glued together, so I just split them off. Here's one, and here's another. I've split them off, and I've sanded it, cleaned it up. I'm just going to get a bit of a epoxy adhesive, glue those back on. Oh, and I got to epoxy these things too. Alright, well I got epoxy on all these things, and the oar. Supporting it here because there's heaps of weight on it and I don't want it to bend or twist. I think everything's pretty much aligned. All oiled up. Oh, it's gotten so much darker. Hopefully that'll help preserve it. You know, oiling wood is traditionally a thing that you do. Nicely oiled. Fuck. You know, good stuff, eh? Good stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. Got pretty much all of it off. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. And there were bits that needed to be filled a little bit. Oh, there's the 2 oars. They've been oiled a bit. This one on the right has 2 coats of oil. This one on the left, the one I just sanded, just one. I'll just keep oiling them, you know. They're thirsty, boys. And they want oil. I'm going to add some tar at some point to the oil because I want it to smell like tar. Tar, I feel like it just really smells like boats to me. It smells nautical. Like, I love a bit of tar. My old boat, I redid all the rigging, the standing rigging with the galvanized wire. I spliced everything, slushed it, parceled and served it in a sort of traditional manner with tar and twine, etc. I just really liked smelling the tar, you know. I go up to the shrouds and just smell them. Yeah, so it's a bit sad that the Scamp doesn't have any standing rigging because I couldn't do that with her standing rigging. So I'm just excited to have a bit of tar smell going on. So this has been sanded back and epoxy reapplied. Let's see if it fits still, hopefully. Oh yeah, just kind of slots in now. Oh, let's see about the hatches. That's loose. So that's good, I suppose. Okay, so they'll get some paint. You can see the epoxy discolors the paint a lot. Okay, cool. Well, they're a bit better, a bit loose, and a bit tight, I think.